Hello everyone, welcome back to another blog project. Today we are going to be going back on a sample which we did last time, and we are going to be messing around on how you can change and add EQ effects such as reverb, tape delay and tremolo. So here is the original so far what we've got sort of sample. As you can probably tell, it doesn't sound all that good, so here's what that sounds like. So what you can do is you can click an audio effect over here. If you click that, you get many different options such as modulation, which includes tremolo and flanger, microphaser, phaser, spreader. We've got pitch correction here, which is usually, I believe, used for auto-tune. We have reverb, which kind of gives that like sound if you're in a sort of church maybe, or a really empty room. But there are many different options: delay, tape delay, and we are going to use tape delay, tremolo and reverb today. So first off, we are going to use tape delay. I use tape delay in many of my songs to kind of get a sort of good sort of echoey sample what I'm usually after, and as you can tell by loading it up, it comes with many different presets, so just by loading it up itself, here's what it sounds like. I should put the thing on. So as you can tell, that has massively made a difference to the song already. You can play about with the delay time, so if I do that here, this is what it sounds like. As you can tell, that is made some sort of effect, so it kind of sounds like it's just an echo, and then it kind of sounds like it's repeating itself, but I've kind of just gone for that sort of in between of both, so it kind of sounds like there's many people saying it at once than just a standard cut out like this. So it kind of sounds like there's more people singing the sample, which kind of sounds like it's saying "Who are you?" So that's what tape delay does, and you can use this on almost anything. It doesn't have to be a vocal sample, you can use it on anything. You use it on piano, bass, synth, whatever, but today I'm using it on my vocals for a song I am creating. The next thing I'm going to try and use is tremolo, which can be found under modulation, under the audio effects, and you want stereo. And so what this does, it kind of makes the sound go in between left and right between your ear, and there are many presets, and there are just two options here which you can change. So if we have a little fiddle around, As you can tell, that has made some sort of difference. I can't really hear because it's coming out of the computer speakers, but usually it would kind of just come to the left side of your ear, then the right, and it would just kind of go in between. So deep tremolo is fast, fast tremolo, hard panning, so it's probably like left and right slowly. That's what some of these are, slow panning. Soft tremolo kind of goes in between just gently, whereas deep tremolo is just kind of like a really fast version of that. So there's not really much to do with tremolo. You can change the depth, which I believe just makes it less harsher or more harsher depending on what you want, and then the rate is just to like sort of match when you want it to come in. But next we are going to go ahead and use reverb, which can be again found in Audio FX. So I'm going to use Space Designer, which I used on one of my songs for the drums, but you can again use reverb on anything. Maybe just not, I don't know, it depends. Here is the reverb. Here, as you can see, there's a lot more options in tremolo, maybe a few less than tape delay, but this is what it sounds like just as you open it up on your selected track. As you can tell, it is kind of echoey. Reverb is what it kind of is, but there are many options. So there's dry, so if I press play and then I press dry, you can definitely tell that it does something. So it kind of, if you put to 100%, it's like more up front, whereas at the back is kind of like sort of behind, if you get what I mean. And if you use wet here, as you can tell, there is a huge difference. When I messed about the size, it kind of sounds like you're in a hall. But there are presets like everything else here. So large spaces, medium spaces, small space, warped effects, surround spaces, HD surround spaces. So we are going to use a small space, and we're going to use a room. There are many options to choose from. Let's choose thicken vocals. And this should sound like this. As you can tell, there is a minor difference. So dry is all the way up, the wet is kind of down here. So you can fiddle around with these effects. There are many to choose from. I'm going to use Vibes Room. So there's kind of a sort of cut off on this preset, which I kind of like. You can use many things with that reverb preset, and there's other reverb presets, but I kind of like that one, and that's the one I'm going to go with. And now you're probably wondering what it all sounds like with all three presets and effects on. So we are going to go ahead and turn them all on, and maybe a bit of a headache though. So this is what they all sound like if you choose to use many plugins at once. So this is what it sounds like. As you could probably tell, the vocal sample I use does kind of sound quiet, so you can, in the same area where you find these plugins, presets, whatever you want to call them, if you scroll down to utility, down at the bottom, there's gain. So you press gain, stereo, you can turn it up. If you don't have enough volume here, you can use this. So this is what it does. We play it. Okay, they're a bit loud, so we're going to turn down. So this is kind of what I was going for. It's not what I had planned, but that's the sort of adventure of making music. You don't really know what you're going for unless you do, but if you kind of experiment, you do end up with something cool like this, which I have in this case. After messing around with the plugins, after sort of going through everything, I've got something which I'm happy with, and you can continue to work. You can mess around with any other plugins, but these are the sort of plugins that I match fit the vibe, that I think fit the vibe of the song I'm going for, which is kind of like a modern R&B, sort of late 2000s song, using a sort of gospel, soul, R&B, I'm not sure what genre song, and just changing it up is a very big thing in music, and it's very fun to do. So if I take away the, say I take away the reverb, this is what it sounds like. So you can definitely tell there's changes, and as I mentioned, this is the way music works. You mess around, experiment, do what you like, and you get something beautiful like this.